Minute 15 to go as the Senators recalibrate. Sanderson at the right point. Stützle's up top. Barkov watches him closely. Sent over to Josh Norris at the hash mark. Back to Stützle. Lots of room. Wide scores! Tim Stützle! First goal of the new season. 1-0 Senators.
Listen, it's nice that these two brothers come to play every night. That's what's so special about them.
Pinto has got speed to the neutral zone here for the Senators. Takes a shot, scores! Shane Pinto makes it 2-0 Ottawa. Less than 90 seconds to go. It's held in by the Panthers. Barkov is at the top of the 6-on-5. His shot breaks on him. Brady Tkachuk flips it over his head, down the ice. Stützle racing there. He scores! An empty netter from Stützle. What speed! And it's 3-1.
Teams trying to get to the playoffs. And Montreal has taken a 3-0 lead in this one.
Brady Tkachuk will carry it back in, plays it across. Stützle scores! Tim Stützle finds a way to finally get a puck behind Samuel Montembeault. The Ottawa Senators are on the board.
He's a big goaltender, 6'5", covers a lot of net, and he does a good job of taking away the lower part. So they're going to have to try and pick some holes around the body or up top.
Tkachuk drops for Sanderson, wide to the shoot, scores! Jack Sanderson, power play goal! Is that in? Kemper plays it around. Turcotte picks it up. Alex Turcotte, the 5th overall pick in the 2019 NHL draft. Long shot, score! Out of nowhere, Zach McEwen rips it home, and Ottawa's back within 1. Where did that come from? Norris picks that cleanly. Patterson to Sanderson, and back in, but they score! Drake Patterson, power play goal. 5 seconds in to the man advantage. Well, 3 times LA has taken a 2-goal lead in this game, and each time Ottawa's drawn back within 1. Now Chabot with a steal, moves in, holds, Chabot shoots, scores! Thomas Chabot ties the game. Picked up now by Cousins, moving in. Gaudette drops in the high slot. McEwen scores! Zach McEwen again! 5-5. He had 2 goals all last year. He's got 2 this afternoon. Swings that back to Giroux. And Claude Giroux flips it across to Pinto. Back in front for Giroux. Rolling puck back. Headshot, score! Claude Giroux, power play goal. The game is tied again. Now played back across. Batherson shoots. That goes wide. Picked up by Tkachuk. Head down to Batherson for Norris. In, shoots, scores! Josh Norris, power play goal. And Ottawa leads for the first time. Back for Chabot. Feeds that back to Stützle. Stützle wheels around Byfield, who's tired. Back to Batherson. Works in. Batherson drops it up. Norris in. Shoots. Scores! Josh Norris. Overtime winner. And Ottawa takes a wild one. 8-7. Looks down for Stützle. Back at the line. Go. Sanderson for Giroux. Works it and shoots. Scores! Claude Giroux, power play goal.
Leads the point. Here's Jake Sanderson. Sanderson back to the veteran Giroux. Giroux over to Sanderson. Still no shot here. Here's the one-timer, and it's a goal from Drake Batherson. Power play marker from Drake Batherson. Senators looking to avoid 2 straight losses. Here's Batherson. Giroux driving to the net. Pass it for a goal! It's Josh Norris, and it's 2-0 for Ottawa.
play goalie once the net was vacated by Forsberg.
Collision here near the Lightning boards. Puck stolen. Batterson's in. He scores! Ottawa wins the draw, and they work to keep it in. Norris moves it to Tkachuk. He's upended. Here's Drake Batherson. Back to Stützle. Waits. One timer. Vasilevsky read it. Tkachuk scores! Ahead to Kucherov. Point tried to get that puck. The Senators get it. Short-handed opportunity. Here comes Shane Pinto. A pass across. Gregor scores! Off the inboards and behind. A return feed to Thomas Chabot. Play 4-on-4 for the first time here tonight. Jensen is in over the line with some good speed. Quick passing and a chance at a goal. Drake Batherson, against the flow of play, gives Ottawa a 1-0 lead.
This all starts right from the...
Jensen first setting one up and then almost finishing that pretty play. As all of a sudden the Tides have turned over the last 2.5 minutes. Back in again. Jensen trying to set up his fellow defenseman, and it's in! Check that, it's Claude Giroux who was able to tuck that in, and 2 quick goals from the Senators.
You and I talked to Travis Green this morning about the power play and running routes and really getting quality shots on net.
Over 38% on the young season, tied for an NHL high 8 goals with the Colorado Avalanche. So the power play has been really kicking. Clicking, should say, and it does again. Puck comes free right in front, and it's jammed in through the legs.
Home plate area, the high danger area. That almost made a 4-0 lead.
Might not be done. There's a shot tipped in front, and there is the 4-0 goal. Brady Tkachuk make it 6 in a row on the point streak, and it is a rout in Utah.
Puck back to the point.
Chipped up by Adam Gaudette. And Cole Reinhardt up for Ottawa, his first NHL game since his first game more than 2 years ago. Banked off the end boards. Reinhardt sends it back in front. Gaudette shoots, scores! And just like that, Ottawa grabs the lead. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. Pass for Norris. In comes Norris, drops it back for Giroux. And Claude Giroux banks it back. Norris fell in the hill, who's slow to get up. And now Batherson on it. Drake Batherson. Great pass back to Jensen. He shoots, goes off the stick of Batherson, and score! The puck bounced back in front. Claude Giroux slides it by Hill. It's 2-0 Ottawa.
On his back skate, drag it in, hold on to it, get it back to the point. Now you go to work. There's a battle in front. Hill goes down.
Clevin. Out for Batherson. Banked ahead for Stützle. Great move by Stützle. Bounces back. Batherson in, shoots, scores! And Drake Batherson with the answer for Ottawa on the feed from Stützle. And it's 3-2 Senators.
Set breakout. Batherson absorbing a little contact now. Chip.
Stützle winds in. Giroux drops it back in the high slot. Commit in, shoots, scores! He waited more than 2 years to score. Now he's got 2 in 2 periods tonight. And Ottawa's back on top, 4-3. I mentioned he was drafted in 2018, spent 3 full years in the American League. Now picked back up. Cousins plays it back. Tkachuk goes wide, rebound, score! Brady Tkachuk! And Ottawa's back with a goal with 10:45 to go in the third. With a head of steam going full blast, here comes Stützle. Across the top with it, drops it back. Chabot moves it and shoots. Hit a skate in front, Chabot gets it back. Chabot plays it back to Stützle with a hard shot. Rebound, score! Nick Cousins! His first as an Ottawa Senator ties the game at 2. Back at the point, Chabot feeds that across to Sanderson. He shoots, it bounces out wide. And they're calling Forsberg to the bench. It's Ottawa scores! Claude Giroux from the boards.
Now Stützle
to Giroux. 17 seconds left. Sens haven't been shooting. That's stopped by Ottawa, though, as it was sent down the slot by Sanderson. 10 to go. One-timer. Score! Claude Giroux from the dot.
To him. Watch Norris here. Right across the seam.
Suter in his 20th NHL season leads all active players in games played. Lead pass just got away from Giroux. Here he comes now with Norris. Giroux has a look. Flips it back in front. Norris scores! What a pass from Giroux! Norris finishes it off, and Ottawa takes a 1-0 lead. Now loose puck on the side of the goal, and bobbling that was Saad. Knocked away by Amadio. He finds a stop check. Lead pass to Amadio, busting in. Amadio throws it back in front. Big shot, score! Noah Gregor makes it 2-0. Here's Falk with it. Up ahead for Neighbors. Big Neighbors drops that back. That's picked up, and Ottawa back the other way. Here comes Stutzla with Tkachuk. Stutzla winds in. Shoots, scores! Tim Stutzla. 3-0 Ottawa. Tkachuk back at the blue line for now. And now Stutzla with it. Trying to thread that pass back in front. Gets it back. Centering pass. Tkachuk in. Shoots, scores! Brady Tkachuk. Power play goal. 4-0 Ottawa. For Tkachuk. Crisscrossing with Norris. Tkachuk works back in. Puts it across the Stutzla. Back to Sanderson. For Tkachuk. Has a look and shoots. Scores!
Oh, take that. 30 feet, no problem.
All your top players get really healthy with a good power play.
Now a centering pass, and there's a goal for Nick Cousin. Or Quebec, rather.
Yeah, a little garbage time action. You never know. You're clinging to hope, but Ottawa wants to lock it down and spoil Mets night.
In comes Chabot. Drops it back to Giroux. Back for Chabot. Has a look. Walks up. Feeds that back. Score! Tim Stutzla. 7-0 Ottawa. Long shot blocked by Bolduc. And Chabot held that right on the line. Down to Cousin. Here's Bolduc, but he turns it over. Chance for Quebec. Scores! Backhands it around to Gregg. In with Tkachuk. And Chabot jumping in. Rink wide pass to Thomas Chabot. Shoots. That was blocked by Schneider. Chabot puts it back in the corner to Tkachuk. Centers a great chance. They score. Adam Gaudette strikes again. And Ottawa's back within one with 7:32 to go in the third.
What a... Now an opportunity for Adam Gaudette, who is real red hot of late. 5 goals in his past 4 games. Chabot, a blast from the point. It lands near the net, and it's found. No, it isn't. Gaudette scores, but it's being waved off right away by the official. And it was a quick one from the official. We've passed the midway mark of this matchup. Under 9 minutes to go now in the second period. Tim Stutzla enters the zone. Stutzla waits in the corner, feeds the point. It's Bernard Docker. Rashad scores! Here's Riker Evans to McCann. Down low feed. Everly, the captain, blocked again by Hamonic. Puck directed out by Amadio. Racing to it, Stutzla. Open net. He scores!
More pushing and shoving the neutral zone. Deline coming right back down towards the centers. Gregg and Deline are still mixed up. Finally, Linesman lets them go. Meanwhile, there's a great chance in front. Here's Stutzla. Centering pass in front. Rebound scores! Gregg was able to jam the puck in on the rebound, and now we'll get those festivities.
And it's George inbounds wide. Another long drive, this time from Chabot. Knocked down by Varlamov. Stutzla. Tight ropes the blue line, pivots back. Flips it back to Chabot. Great pass. Chabot slings it across to Jensen. Shoots, scores! Nick Jensen has his first of the season. Finds that pass across to Tkachuk. Tkachuk wheels that back to Sanderson. Looks down to Stutzla. In front for Batherson. Scores! Drake Batherson, power play goal!
Really well done.
Sanderson for Tim Stutzla. Feeds it across as Batherson looked it in. Norris goes after the puck. Behind the net for Batherson. Kachuk catches up to it right in front, scores! Great setup as Josh Norris puts it into the top. McAvoy feeds it back off the boards and out, off the stick of Poitras. Chabot couldn't get it by Poitras. They're tangled up in front of the Bruins bench. Noah Gregor back for Amadio. Scores! Michael Amadio with his first goal with the Ottawa Senators, and it's a big one late in the second as he ties the game at 2. Brad Marchand in over the line. Marchand waiting. Elias Lindholm, great save, Allmark. There's the first shot. Ottawa back the other way. It's a track meet. Kachuk waiting, shoots, scores! Brady Kachuk, overtime winner, and Ottawa takes it 3-2.
What a big win for the Ottawa Senators, and well-deserved at that.
Centering pass to Willie Nylander, sitting at 11 goals on the season. Sam's come back the other way. Giroux on the near side, centering pass. Norris, and he scores! Josh Norris open to scoring for the Ottawa Senators. Jensen, another shot. Great to see him back out on the ice here for the Sens. Centering pass, and another shot, and he scores!
Weak middle, past coverage. As Stützle finds a quiet area. Not even halfway through the game. He's dancing tonight.
McCabe off the face-off. What do you think of that tinted visor, though, Jamie? Tinted Timmy, I mean, it looks to be working for him.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
The other way, the Sens. Long shot, and he scores! Michael Amadio goals in back-to-back games. It's 3-0 for the Ottawa Senators.
Now Norris plays that back in. And Hamonic back for it. Norris swings it back and back. Kachuk with a chance, scores! Brady Kachuk ties the game on a sweet feed from Norris. Sanderson ranges back. Sanderson's dead. Jeff is here scouting again for New Jersey. Stützle back for Batherson. Tees it up for Sanderson. Back across. There's a shot by Batherson. Scores! Drake Batherson power play goal, and Ottawa takes the lead. Long shot by Greg goes wide, and Joel Farabee feeling that. Stays out there. Greg drops it back to Norris. Picked up by Chabot. Back to Norris, who holds the line. Norris walks in and shoots. Score! Deflected in front. Amadio back to Giroux. Great chip there for Greg. Chabot back across to Gaudette. He pivots back. Gaudette trying to throw that back and bounce to Greg. Chabot back across. Gaudette works back. Get it back. Headshot, scores!
The puck gets kept in by Claude Giroux earlier in the
Stützle kept that alive. Jensen knocks it down, banks that down to Batherson. Throws it back, but they score! Stützle! On a sweet feed from Batherson. And the game is tied at 1. Here comes Kachuk across the line. Brady Kachuk works in. Chins back in the corner. Feeds that back to Jensen. A long shot. Scores! Nick Jensen banks that back to Perron. Feeds it back to Chabot across to Gaudette. Here's Giroux with it. Final second of the power play down to Greg back across. He scores! Gaudette strikes again. A power play goal. Ottawa's back within 1. Now brought in by Stützle. Stützle pivots back, centers it. Sanderson a shot, stopped by Samson. Rebound, score! Batherson! And Ottawa's back within 1.
4 power play goals on the year for Kachuk. He's got it back to Stützle. Around to the far side, Josh Norris is after it, picked up by Batherson. Here's Drake Batherson for Sanderson, shooting. Loose in front! Kachuk scores! And the game is tied!
In on the side.
Norris had shouldered Soucy out of the way, and Soucy takes exception to that. Fired back into the Vancouver zone. Loose puck comes to the net. They score. Claude Giroux gets one back. Pinto to the corner. Knocked it free for Stützle. Back up top for Sanderson. Watched by Pettersson as he played it off on the left flank. Here's the flip front. Scores! 1-goal game. 43.5 left.
Weegar will hustle to it. Shabbat traps it. Here's Giroux. Here it comes. Turned out and forked wide in the rebound. Off Pahal and maybe Pinto out in front. Giroux blocked by Blake Coleman. Now a chance. They score! Oh, set up beautifully. Wait for Stützle. The goal line. Batherson to the slot, the bumper slot. Norris and Wolf got a piece of it. Now Stützle out of the corner. Sanderson straight away. It's tipped in. Brady Tkachuk out in front. Drake Batherson was behind him. He gets up with it. He'll send it back. Here's Sanderson looking through traffic off the goaltender. Wolf out of the corner. All the way back to Jake Sanderson. A slap pass. Rolls around. They score! Paul Reinhardt out in front. Got the evidence right there. Sends pry it out thanks to Josh Norris. Here's Sanderson. Move it across. Stützle. Batherson. Tkachuk. Scores! That's hockey, baby!
Walton lifts that to center ice. It's knocked down by Jensen. Back to center ice. Tkachuk bumps out ahead for Stützle. Team with Gaudette. Stützle winds in. Centers in! And score! Deflected by Blackwood. Gaudette might have got a piece of that. And Ottawa back to Sanderson. Sanderson back across for Stützle. Delandria taken down as Stützle keeps that alive. And he goes for Batherson. Shovels it back. Norris scores! What a play by Batherson. Sets up Norris on the power play. It's 2-0 Ottawa. Out to center ice for Batherson. That pass was touched, so no icing on the play. And Blackwood plays it away from Norris. The loose puck goes to Giroux. Claude Giroux plays it across to Clemens. Winds and shoots, scores! And Tyler Clemens got his first National Hockey League goal. 3-1 Ottawa as Clemens gets his first in his 39th game.
Puck gets thrown up the wall. Pinched off right there. And what a pass by Claude Giroux to get it to Clemens. And this is a bit of a screen by Batherson.
Now to Foley moves it ahead. In comes Stützle, along with Gaudette. Centering pass, score! Gaudette tips it home, and Ottawa retakes the lead. Their first shot in nearly 20 minutes, and they take a 4-3 lead.
You want to talk about opportune timing. This is just off transition. Stützle gets it.
He's hit hard along the wall. The one shot on net for the Kings on that man advantage as Brady Tkachuk and Batherson come into the zone with Stützle driving to the net. He scores! Tim Stützle with his 10th of the season in this game is tied at 1 apiece.
This is a good on the rush would go to the net, and we saw those last 2 goals in San Jose. Where was he? Going to the net.
There's a blast and a goal from Shabbat as the Senators now have the lead. Just like that.
Anaheim's allowed 2 goals on 3. Opposition 5 on 3. In comes Stützle. Winds in. Stützle holds. Feeds that back to Sanderson. Tkachuk parked in front. Batherson drops it back to Stützle. Shoots, scores! Tim Stützle with a rocket. Might have been tipped by Brady Tkachuk. It's a power play goal on the 5-on-3 in Ottawa. Now brought in by Lundstrom. That's picked away. Lead pass from Brady Tkachuk. In a breakaway. Tkachuk moves in. Rebound, scores! And the captain fires back. 37 seconds into the second period. The game is tied. In comes Zegras again. Zegras backhands it back in front. Miss McTavish with that pass. Cousins back the other way. With Amadio. Michael Amadio works in. Looks back in front. They score! Banked in front by Nick Cousins. And it's a 3-3 tie.
Well, Nick Cousins looks to the sky because he has been frustrated trying to find the back of the net. This is a 2-on-2 play.
Moves it along the boards. It's poked free by Batherson for a moment. Now Raymond back with it. He loses to Batherson. Drake Batherson plays that back for Tkachuk with a pitch chance. Loose in front. Husso makes the save. Rebound, score! Josh Norris flips it home, and Ottawa takes a 1-0 lead. final minute of regulation. Raymond winds in, and Jensen bats out ahead to Batherson. Up ahead to Norris, winding in. Josh Norris shoots, scores! Josh Norris with a lightning strike, and Ottawa has a 2-1 lead with 41 seconds to go.
He loves scoring against these guys.
Now,
Big 7-year, $49 million deal with the Predators. Another one of those big names that came over along with Stamkos and Marcia. So here comes Stützle. Giroux to the net. A shot and a goal from Jacob Bernard Docker. First goal. Gaudette gets to that puck behind the net. Adam Gaudette feeds the point. Hamonic, slap pass, off the wall. Gaudette has it now, up to the slot. Soros up to the task. Another opportunity there for Batherson. That's Tim Stützle out there now. Giroux, a pass, and a goal! He feeds Yossi. Eventually, Yossi a wrist shot, but that's way wide. And now an opportunity as it's Cousins off to the races. He scores!
Levin back around to Giroux. Rink wide, he goes for Stützle with Gaudette driving. Stützle winds in. In comes Stützle. Ottawa changing. Feeds that back across to Gregor coming off the bench. Noah Gregor backhands it back in front. Rebound, score! Adam Gaudette. And Ottawa leads 1-0. And the roll continues.
I think it's guys trying to fire the engine right back up.
Tkachuk drops it back for Sanderson. Jake Sanderson in for Batherson. Down to Stützle. Tim Stützle to Jake Sanderson. Back for Stützle, winding and feet to the goal. Back across. They score! Josh Norris, power play goal. The game is tied at 2.
Hit across to the wing and Anaheim clears it to center. Nick Jensen moves it up ahead. It's brought in by Noah Gregor. He'll check up. Dropped it back for Jensen. Laid down low, and Shabbat goes around the goal with it. Thomas Shabbat cycles it off for Jensen with a shot. Makes it through. Scores! Noah Gregor carries it, and Ottawa gets the opening goal. Sanderson on it. Fans getting a little impatient. Stützle got it across. Is it in? Gibbs it's down. And the puck is underneath him. The question is where Tkachuk thinks it's in.
Giroux thinks it's in as well.
Giroux thinks
he
it's
came
in.
over and said, that's Coach say a player forced me to move him up in the lineup. That's what Gaudette has done. He has forced the hand of the coaching staff to say, this guy has been playing so good. We have got to move him up into our top 6.
Stützle for Norris. Norris hands it off for Tkachuk. Took the shot, stopped by Gibson, rebound, and he banks it in.
Going to be productive. I mean, he's, you know, I see him with better, more productive wingers that would probably be more helpful.
Shabbat trying to get it through, blocked by Fowler. Batherson scores! Drake Batherson has got the hat trick. And it's 4-0 Ottawa. It's across to sit in the box. The Senators' power play goes to work. Tim Stützle down to Drake Batherson. Batherson waiting across. Tkachuk scores. Great setup, and he taps it home. 5-0 Ottawa.
In this game, tries to keep this puck deep in the zone. Audio chasing after it. Orlov trying to work him here as that puck pops loose. Ottawa trying to have him in the zone. In front, Pinto! He scores! Shane Pinto breaks through with a sigh of relief, and the Ottawa Senators are on the board.
First it starts with Hamonic poking it down.
Amadio on the backhand, cuts it back. In front, Pinto, the great feed. Another strong chance. Jensen walking in, off the bar, and he scores! The arm is out, and Nick Jensen secures the insurance marker for the Ottawa. Now a chip and chase for Nick Cousins, an empty cage, he'll go for it. And that just trickles wide. Final minute to go here in the third period, and what a performance for the Ottawa Senators. A detail-oriented game, Now an empty cage for Pinto. Can he make it 2? And he will. Shane Pinto, 1 tonight, 2 tonight. And that seals the deal for the Sens in terms of building on a characteristic game.
Still with the puck, looking for Gaudette. Gaudette now, along the wall. Getting it back to Shabbat. A one-timer, Jari the save. Giroux on the rebound. Couldn't get a shot away. Shabbat, a blast, and he scores! 40 points in 44 games since the departure of Gensel. And here's Brady Tkachuk. Get back the lead for Ottawa. Shabbat waiting for it. Shabbat moving to the net, and he scores! Starting it off now, a pass over to Brady Tkachuk. 2-on-1 developing. Tkachuk waits, keeps, shoots, scores!
What a breakaway chance against Linus Allmark in the first period, but couldn't capitalize. Now Pinto the other way, has speed, he scores! Shane Pinto keeps on rolling, and the Ottawa Senators open the scoring in the second period. Talked about it, line chemistry, and those three have found something special. Chris Norris, Tkachuk go way back, and Batherson having played with Norris in Belleville, and it's all working. As Gregor lets it go, and he scores! Noah Gregor with his 4th of the year, and the Ottawa Senators have a 2-0 lead.
Puck in the corner. Stützle moves up the boards. Stevens had it. He lost it for Seattle. And a lead pass, a breakaway. Tim Stützle in alone. He scores. Decord got a piece of it. And it goes high and in the back of the net.
See the back.
Craig firing it down, stop Chuck. For Cousins in the slot. Hammond keeps the play going. He'll let it go from the blue line. Pass saved by Vladar. Cousins now on the loose puck. Finds Sanderson. Nick Sanderson walks in, lets it go, and they score! Nick Cousins ties it up in Calgary.
And it's that fourth line that goes to work. There's a half change on that. Ridley Gregg ends up staying out. Look at Ridley Gregg now.
Ottawa will go for a change. Calgary in over the line. He'll wait for support. Soft ice. Now a breakaway chance all alone. Ridley Gregg with the breakaway. Gregg shoots. Off rebound. He scores! Ridley Gregg, the go-ahead goal from Lethbridge, Alberta. The other way. Nazem Kadri in overtime. To center on the backhand. Omar makes the stop. Euro slowing it up at the other end. Gives a 2-on-1 chance for Ottawa. Stützle waits. Shot. Left save. Rebound. Tkachuk. He scores! 10th in overtime on the career for Brady Tkachuk.
There's Kadri to Huberto. And then Linus Allmark up to Timmy Stützle. The initial shot. Tkachuk on the back door. Now, it goes off the right skate. Here's what Huberto was upset about.
Thomas Chabot with a sharp angle shot, lengthening the save. Stützle is onto the loose puck. Leaves along the boards for Chabot. Pass to Tkachuk, who chopped on the side of the goal. Blocked right away by Lankinen. With Claude Giroux right there, hoping for a loose puck. Now a long shot, tipped in. Giroux out of midair, tipped it down and bounced it into the goal. And Claude Giroux has opened the scoring. A minute 45 into the game. Here's a pass in front, a chance for Blueger. Never could get a good shot away as he tried to get that from his skate to his stick. Senators clear, and Amadio picks up the puck. He's got Pinto going to the net. Amadio centers, Pinto scores! Shane Pinto off the rush. Set up by Michael Amadio. And the Sens double their lead. They're up 2-0. Hughes keeps the puck in. He's tripped. Fans react. No call. Sanderson up the right wing. Batherson to the middle. Pinto's in. He scores. Shane Pinto able to fight off the check and get his second of the game. As the fans voice their displeasure. Miller waved out. Pedersen in to take the face off. And to Sens, able to send the puck to the near corner where Sanderson picks it up. Sends a long pass to Drew. He's got Norris going to the net. There's the pass. He scores! Short-handed goal for Josh Norris as the Sens sent it up the ice in a hurry. And the Canucks got caught napping. It's 4-3 Ottawa. Brady Tkachuk has 2 overtime goals in his last 3 games. He's not on the ice to begin this overtime.
Yeah, he is now. Pinto was on there for the face-off.
And Tkachuk comes over the board. Stützle. Sanderson to the net. He scores! 14 seconds into overtime. Jake Sanderson off the left wing beats Kevin Lankinen. And it's 6 straight wins for the Ottawa Senators. The beat goes on as they beat the Canucks 5-4 in Vancouver.
Miller's not going to catch Jake Sanderson, and Sanderson gets in tight and slides it through the legs of Kevin Lankinen.
Down by 1 to the Edmonton Oilers as they look to extend their win streak to 7 games. Turnover chance here. Nick Cousins all alone. Cousins shot, and he scores! We're all tied up at 1, courtesy of Nick Cousins.
Great work by Nick Cousins to turn this puck over and hound dog the puck.
Sanderson for Tkachuk, over to Batherson. Batherson drops it back for Sanderson. Played over to Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk got it down. Batherson to Stützle, scores! Tim Stützle puts it in the open side of the net. A power play goal, and Ottawa is on the board first.
Well, their last power play goal on the road was on December 1st. It's been a long road.
And he wins it. Back for Shabbat. Shabbat with a shot, scores! Ridley Craig got a piece of the shot in front of the net. And the Ottawa power plays.
In behind the goal, pressure continues. Craig a shot, looking for goals and back-to-back. That one's off the target. Sanderson at the point. Good push again from the Senators. In on goal. In front, Craig scores! Back-to-back goals for Ridley Craig, and the Sens are back on even terms on the season. Flips the puck in on the line, followed up by Tim Stützle, and now Ottawa will set it up again. Sanderson, quarterback in the power play. Stützle on the left side, down towards the goal line. Bathurst there with all kinds of time. Back up to Sanderson, moved over, scores! Josh Norris! A huge power play goal, and Ottawa leads for the first time tonight.
I talked about the puck movement, them running their routes. Will play off the entry.
Couldn't get the puck out as a result. Boldy's pass, a sliding Giroux blocks it down the ice from Claude Giroux towards the empty net, scores! Giroux from his own line gives Ottawa a 2-goal advantage with 43 seconds
5-on-5 on Jake Oettinger, who's had a quiet night here so far in the first 8 minutes.
Turned over, centering pass, they score! Brady Tkachuk right off the draw. And the Senators are right back in it early in the first. 17th of the season, another shot towards the goal as Oettinger watches that, tipped wide. Jensen holds it in. Below the goal line, Pinto. This line stays out. Tkachuk is there as well. Ridley Craig scores! It's back-to-back! Goals in Dallas and 3 straight for Ridley Craig. 2-1.
This is all about the Ottawa Senators hound dogging the puck.
Pinto has Cousins with him. Here's Cousins. That'll do it. Bearman's penalty. Shot scores! Thomas Shabbat with a laser. It's off the bar and in, and Ottawa has tied the hockey game at 1.
And I don't know if this will be deemed a power play.
Sanderson towards the goal. A save from Talbot. High off the glass, but it stays in play. Brady Tkachuk to Sanderson. Tkachuk again scores! A power play goal that gets through Talbot, and Ottawa leads for the first time tonight, late in period 2.
Boy, did the captain ever want that one. He was in the penalty box when he took.
He's a 2-time 30-goal scorer, and they need him. Here's Stützle. Pulling that free, Tim Stützle. Tied up in the corner by Grizzly. Here's Giroux with it. Claude Giroux feeds it back. Clement, a long shot, score! Tipped in front, and Tyler Clement has the point shot go home, and it's a 1-0 lead on Shabbat. To Giroux. Final seconds now of the power play. Shabbat swings it back across. Giroux centers it. Pinto, a shot, scores! Shane Pinto drives it home with 2 seconds to go on the power play, and it's 2-0 Pittsburgh early. Or 2-0 Ottawa early on Pittsburgh.
Jensen is just pile driving in the back. Dragon. But Crosby going at each other. And another 2-on-1 if they want it.
Here they come again. Pinto with Chabot trailing. Pinto walks right and shoots. Scores! Shane Pinto. Short-handed goal. 3-0.
And then, hang on. We're still going. In the corner. Crosby tangled up.
Yeah, this is. Flips that back to Sanderson. Winds it and shoots. Milkovic save, rebound, loose in front. Tkachuk banging away at him. The puck still loose. Milkovic still down. Tkachuk has his helmet and move. They score! Drake Batherson puts it home through a pile of bodies. The Penguins are staring at the official. Tkachuk's helmet was off. They're saying he had to leave the ice.
Sometimes it lands, sometimes it hasn't.
There's Chabot. Back across to Jensen. Shoots. It got through into Velkovic. Didn't make the save. They score! Tim Stützle pulls it out and taps it home. The Penguins arguing again, but Tim Stützle makes it 5-0 Ottawa.
Norris playing some excellent hockey this season. 9 power play goals, a shorthanded goal. Overtime winner of the season as well as Batherson picks up speed on the far side in front for Norris. He scores! Josh Norris with the tying goal.
Has it taken away and lifted out. Norris has had a good goal-scoring season. That's number 15 on the year, but it's slowed lately. And Sanderson, good stick by Dumba, broken up. Rebound in front, score by Stützle. Ottawa goes back-to-back. It's shades of what happened a week ago.
Trying to feed it in deep in the zone, getting a shift here with Shane Pinto. He took the opening draw. Nick Cousins as well. Pinto walking in on the backhand. Followed off, a shot redirected. Backdoor Matthew Highmore. He scores!
It's with a purpose. Inside body position there by Shane Pinto. Turning back on the play, looking for options. Curl and drag play towards the net. Good save initially off of Nick Cousins, but Matthew Highmore
takes a look, feeds it to the blue line. Nick Cousins drags. Takes a look, finds Zub. Zub looks for a better option. Won't feed it to the far side. Pinto to Clevin. Lets the wrist shot go. He scores! Tyler Clevin was his 3rd of the season. Opens the scoring for the Ottawa Senators.
Well,
Jake Sanderson on the ice. 30 minutes and counting. Almost at 31 minutes here tonight. Open net. Zub goes for it, and he scores.
Drops it back for Lori, turned over. Stützle tried to feed it into the slot. Gaudette was there. Now Chabot with a shot, and that got blocked. Picked up by Stützle. He'll hand it off for Claude Giroux. Throw towards the net. Loose puck in front. Scores! Adam Gaudette will put it home, and Ottawa is on the board first.
In those 12 games, such a big reason.
Here's Clevin with a chance. Shotgun redirected on the way to the net. Swindon with a pad save as Stützle jumps on it. Trying to get it in front. He's got it back. He scores! Tim Stützle! 2-0. Ottawa's on the power play as they look for the equalizer. Batherson. Dropped it back. Sanderson has got it. Sends it over to Tim Stützle. Back for Sanderson. Scores! And Tkachuk caused some traffic in front. Zadorov goes right after him. But he breaks free. And the power. Lindholm will find it for the Bruins. Taken away by Gaudette. Center. Pinto with a chance. Great save. Swinging. Puck still free. Jensen scores! Don't go away just yet. Jensen makes it a 1-goal game. Giroux to Chabot a drive. That one's off a skate. Giroux's got it back. 15 seconds to go. Giroux in front. Norris scores! Tied it in. Josh Norris. So Tim Stützle will shoot first for Ottawa. Ottawa 0-1 in the shootout this year. This is the first shootout for the Bruins this season. And Tim Stützle will start it off against Swayman. Cuts wide right, gets in the slot, waits, drags it, scores! Swayman tried the poke check, couldn't get it, and Stützle buries it.
got some crazy patience for Stützle as he cuts across. I think he's going to jam the 5-hole, and I think Swayman does too.
Well, the Eastern Conference is so tight right now.
Yes.
Amadio plays that back in for a stop check. It was spilled there by Hamilton and gives him another cross check. Puck loose to a stop check. Spins and shoots, scores! Zacha Stopchuk, his first National Hockey League goal! And the Sens have a 1-0 lead.
And fires there. Now, I'm a little concerned. This hit the glove of a Stopchuk and went into Amadio, and then the puck gets back to him, and he goes short.
Now Cousins back across to Sanderson. In comes Jake Sanderson. Shoots off the side of the goal. Now picked up by Pinto. Slings that back to Zub with a shot. Scores! Artem Zub! And Ottawa's back on top. 2-1.
Seam pass. And now Sanderson again. Stützle fires it. And the rebound ricochets back to Giroux. Across into the middle. Sanderson. Stützle scores! Power play goal. And the scoring drought is over.
Taking advantage of a broken stick, David Kampf blocked the shot with his, and then watch. This is
Kicks out the bees, and now it's fed ahead for Amadio. Benoit cuts him off with the pass. Amadio slides it through Shabbat down low. Highmore tried to center it. Knocked down and in. Ottawa's got the lead.
For a bad thing. Benoit pressures out high, and this one, Highmore hits the stick.
This is an Auto Subaru penalty kill. So basically, 40% of their power play is out. Now cheap lead pass for Pinto, shorthanded. In comes Shane Pinto alone, puts it across the deck, scores! Shorthanded goal. Ottawa takes a 1-0 lead. Gagne had an 8-point game in the NHL one night for Edmonton.
We were there, Edmonton against Chicago. We put an 8-pack on them.
Yeah. Kind of a funny one. I was midway through the second period. I noticed that he had 5. Stützle flips it back across. In front of Giroux. Scores! Oh, Giroux! Ottawa leads 2-1. Ottawa 6-2-1 in its last 9 games. Tkachuk busts up with Giroux.
What do you got?
Stützle jumping in. Giroux works in, throws it back in front of the center. Score! Brady Tkachuk! And the captain comes through in the clutch.
Leaves that back to Shabbat. Perot. Shabbat. Harris. Back for Shabbat. Perot saves it. Score! Ridley Grant power play goal. And Ottawa's taking a 1-0 lead. Norris takes a wide turn and scores! Josh Norris. A short-handed penalty shot goal. Norris takes a wide angle, waits, changes the angle, and almost forces it through Lindgren. Lindgren gets a good chunk of it, but not enough, and it bounces into the net. All about some force on. And Pinto almost stole that from Dubois. That's the 6th short-handed goal for Ottawa this season. In comes Pinto along with Norris again. Pinto, but Norris loses it from Lindgren. Great save, and score! Shane Pinto! It's another short-handed goal, and it's 3-1 Ottawa. Shane Pinto does a great job in the neutral zone, turning the puck over. Jake Sanderson, just a little aerial pass. Drops that back to Sanderson. Across to Giroux. Stützle. Tkachuk. Stützle has a look. Goes back to Sanderson. Across to Giroux. Back for Sanderson. Shoots, score! Tipped in front. A power play goal. Gives Ottawa its 2-goal lead back. In comes Josh Norris with a head of steam. In on Chychrun. Norris dives back. And Chychrun knocks him down. Pinto back with it.
Chabot drifting in. They find him in front. Chabot all alone. In shoots, scores! Thomas Chabot on his birthday wins it for Ottawa. Happy 28th. Thomas Chabot delivers the game-winning goal in alone, but this is all made possible by Josh.
The Jumbotron at Canadian Tire Center. Now off the draw, it's Jake Sanderson controlling. He fires it down, a chance for Norris, driving in, and he scores! Josh Norris with the game's first goal. Jake Sanderson decides to retreat, move out of the zone. Ottawa with a reboot at center. It's Stützle working it over to Tkachuk. Centering pass. Stützle scores! A beautiful more points at home than on the road for Stützle as Shane Pinto starts it off. Pinto over the red line and the blue line now. Sending it deep. Pinto pass to Greg. Up front, Amadio. Scores! Traffic there, the puck redirected. Back up top to Sanderson, to Tim Stützle. Down low. Senators working it around, and they score! Jake Sanderson, fourth in his season. Just that goal you saw from Sanderson. Puck stolen, and the Senators get it back. It's Giroux to Tkachuk. Tkachuk keeps, shoots, and he scores! To Batherson, to Stützle. And now he's going to skate around with it. Stützle, Batherson, Sanderson, back to Stützle. Stützle waits. Batherson scores! Snake bitten no longer is Drake Batherson. Snapping a 10-game goalless drought.
Hinostroza back out. Denny Hinostroza negated by Artem Zub.
Yeah, impressive work by Nashville defensively. You just said it. They're smothering.
Stützle, right in, stick save, they score! On the rebound, it's Adam Gaudette. In the right place at the right time. Zub now. Sent all the way around, Highmore. Jake Sanderson. Looks for a lane, great skater. He scores! That puck had eyes. Jake Sanderson walking the blue line beautifully. Sanderson's on a heater, and Ottawa has a 2-1. They score! Shane Pinto collects the puck after Thomas Chabot let it fly. 13:43 left. Ottawa by 1.
Well, they were drawing this play up in that TV timeout. Shane Pinto face-off here. And as they get it, see on the right side of your screen. That was a trip on a breakaway, unless he stumbled on his own. That looked like a pure trip.
Perron in tight. It's in! David Perron! His 311th goal in his career, his first as an Ottawa Senator. They lead it 4-2. They'll wipe it around. Hamonic hard along the boards, cut off by Nyquist. Tkachuk on the spot, goes for it. It's wide, in first, Ridley Gregg. He hits it, pays a price. Ridley Gregg with an empty net goal. 5-2 Ottawa.
As Nashville has the goaltender out, perfect bounce, and Gregg has to make a decision, and he makes it.
David Perron back to the point. Here's Chabot. Walks the line again. Back to Perron. Towards the net. Bouncing around in front. Scores! On the power play. It was batted in front. Vasilevsky couldn't find it.
I mentioned that second goal has gone to the energy and the legs of the Lightning. Now the Sens got to find a way to get their game back in order as far as speed on the attack.
Stützle's in over the line. Chabot, Giroux, right in the slot, scores! And the Senators get it right back, tied at 2, and Giroux strikes again.
Critical these points were not only for the Ottawa Senators, but for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've been on the outside of the playoff picture looking in.
Allmark to the bench again as Ottawa will try and get two on Vasilevsky. In on the line, Batherson scores! Right back at it! Drake Batherson brings Ottawa back within one with $1:20 to go.
And what an unbelievable...
Good pass from the middle. Chabot off the goal post. Beat the big cat, not the iron. Another chance. Right to the top of the slot. Here's Stützle. Lots of room. He'll let it go. Tim scores! Amadio again! On back-to-back games in Tampa, Michael Amadio has tied up the hockey game.
Well, I talked about simple plays.
Stützle will bring it up through center and back into the Florida zone. Taken to the boards by Nicola. And it comes free for Barkov. Nearly turned it over in front of the net. Great timing play at the line by Giroux. Brady Tkachuk in tight score.
That's going to come down to Tkachuk off to the left of Bobrovsky. And as he steps out on his forehand, which is luckily on his
forehand. Batted around and Sanderson's there waiting for it. Right across for Tim Stützle. Stützle down low. Batherson holds on. Up high. Sanderson scores! Power play works. And Sanderson makes it a one-goal game. Got it down to Caulfield. Throws it towards the net. Off the leg and wide. Suzuki around the boards. Matheson can't hold it in. Tim Stützle turns on the Jets. He's in alone. Scores!
And a miscue from Matheson as he goes to throw the puck down. The one.
Now Chabot for Stützle. Tim Stützle curls back, dropped it off. Chabot follows up, scores! Thomas Chabot answers for Ottawa.
Shoulder save made by Allmark. In the slot, Eklund, and maybe a break now. Up ahead is Pinto, takes it off his skate, breakaway chance, scores! Short-handed.
That's a nice short-handed goal by the Senators. Wallman can't corral it, and really Greg does a great job.
30 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Stützle carries in. Cross for Tkachuk. Tkachuk scores! Seven. And a few of those have gone to extra time, including their last two. 31 one-goal game. Crazy bounce out front. They score! Doolin lost along the boards, got it back, finds Nico Sturm. Under control though by Batherson, and he gives it to Chabot. Here's Thomas Chabot, a shot, rebound, came in, scores! Extra attacker on for the Sharks, they look for an equalizer. With 1:05 to go, but here's a steal by Amadio. Gets to center and scores!
Back the other way by Pinto. Up for Sanderson jumping in. Jake Sanderson feeds it back in front. They score! Shane Pinto deflects it home, and Washington gives up one here late in the second period. Sends on the board, down 3-1. Low Giroux back to Sanderson. Shoots, that one high. Bounces back to Stützle. For Sanderson. Giroux tees it up, scores! Claude Giroux, power play goal. Ottawa's back within one. Got up by Jensen and spun around. Crowd hollering about that, so are the Caps.
Jensen said, "You better not call that on me."
Chabot down to Amadio. Centers and Pinto scores! Shane Pinto's got his second, and the game is tied at 3. Norris wins it cleanly. Back to Sanderson. Across to Stützle. Sanderson
In for Giroux. Back to Sanderson. Tees it up and shoots. That was blocked by down. Sanderson. For Stutzel with a drive. Tops the table. Rebound score. Brady Tkachuk. Power play goal. And the game is tied. 4-4.
Perfect execution from the face-off win to the two guys in front, moving in concert to tie up Favari, and then getting the puck to a spot where rebounders can do something with it. Stützle puts it on the far pad. If he tries to go top glove there, sails it over, no chance for Brady Tkachuk. You put it on the ice.
Be better 5-on-5 as they head down the stretch.
And here's a slapper from Sanderson, and it stays out somehow. Can't get much closer than that. Zoo puts it on target, and they score! Brady Tkachuk near the net tips it home.
Well, he scored the goal to tie it up and get that important point.
Meanwhile, the Senators, they erased a 3-goal deficit Monday night against Washington, so a lot of runway. Here's Drake Batherson, gathers the puck. Batherson centering pass, blocked, it's in the net, they score, and this game is tied. The Senators answer back, and it's David Perron with his third. Here's Sanderson directing it back in. Batherson again. Batherson centering pass off a stick. And it's Colton Dock unable to remove the puck. Sanderson, Batherson, one-timer, they score! It's Josh Norris, the go-ahead goal. His 15th, his 20th of the season, and it's 3-2.
Which was a good save.
Connor Bedard leaving it in the hands of Ryan Donato. And he gave it away. Bouncing puck. Stützle, nice move. Stützle moving to the net, driving. Stützle makes a play, and they score! It ends up in the net. The Ottawa Senators win in overtime.
This in, they're going to have a look at this, but just a really bad turnover, and then it comes back the other way. Kaiser just can't hold off Stützle. It's his natural progression to the net. Kaiser is pulling on him, so I don't know if he can avoid contact with the goalie. So at the end of the day, this may count. This is a tough one to recall. It's not, there's no kicking motion that I think Stützle can really have. I don't think he knows where
he's really embraced his new partner now with JT Miller. Will Cooley as well rounding them out on that line. Drop of the blue line, trickles in. Ottawa scores. We talked about how critical the face-offs are, and it's Brady Tkachuk. Scanning, taking a look, back up high for Shabbat. Perron, high side. Shabbat watching, lands the shot, loose puck, Dylan Cousins, they score! Bradley Gray, Ottawa within one. Perron lands the body again. With a physical nature. Perron back in the lineup, brings that. Now a shot while falling. Another chance here for Amadio. To circle loose puck. They score! Michael Amadio has tied it up. JT Miller scanning. Benajad goes for a change. Now Miller. Loose puck, Stützle will pick it up. Tim Stützle taking a look in overtime, far side, Tkachuk scores! Your captain, the overtime hero against New York.
Ridley Gregg sealed off by Albert Johansson. Battle along the boards. Giroux digs it out, spins off Larkin, gets it back. Here's Perron with a shot, he scores! David Perron with a power play goal breaks the ice for Ottawa. Detroit's kill did it early in this third period. Can they do it again? Sanderson, Stützle, ball it factory, broken stick along the boards now. Stützle to the bench. Here's a chance. Sanderson outside. They score! It's a power play goal. Dylan Cousins with his first as an Ottawa Senator. They lead it by one.
Fans, but for Detroit, they're not happy. And Seider, as he's in the box, you can see a beautiful play by Sanderson. Ottawa managed to
tight victory over Detroit last night. Now a third game in 4 nights and a back-to-back against a Flyer team that's lost the first 4 games of a 7-game homestand. Tim Stützle works it back to Claude Giroux, back across to Tkachuk, shoots, scores! Brady Tkachuk strikes 24 seconds in, and Ottawa's got a 1-0 lead.
Future zone regroup. Great work right here by Sanderson. Right up, Stützle looking for us.
Martin Paolo snaps that pass ahead to Batherson. Moving in on Sanheim. Now Perron tries to kick that free. Perron backs that back to Clevin. Holds the line. Rolling puck. Shoots. Scores! Tyler Clevin sneaks a fluttering puck through the traffic and restores Ottawa's lead.
And he did an unreal job. This is very close. We've seen some short-handed opportunities here in this period, guard.
Well, 2 of the better teams in the league shorthanded. And now a chance for Amadio busting in. Amadio works in, shoots, scores! And Michael Amadio restores Ottawa's lead. 3-2.
And what a play. It's a little touch, bump wide to Amadio with speed. And what Amadio does at the last second.
You know, I think Chicago's going to be in the same situation. They're going to have to decide at what point you stop waiting for the grass to grow. And now a steal by Cousins, moves in and shoots, scores! Dylan Cousins again! And a huge goal for Ottawa to make it 4-2.
And he labeled this. This was on his stick, off his stick, and he puts it underneath the bar. Now this is a turnover. A shot on goal the first 10 minutes of this period. David Perron.
Drysdale back across to Michka. Drysdale tees it up and shoots. Loose puck again. Backhand shot from Cates was blocked. Amadio looks ahead. He's got Pinto. And this time he won't miss. Shane Pinto scores. And the Ottawa Senators take a 5-2 lead.
1 goal leading up to that stretch. And he's really playing with a ton of confidence.
Probably no game bigger for him than that Carolina where he finally snapped that goal route. Turn the tables for him as Greg fights for positioning in front. A shot by Pinto. He scores! And just like that, Shane Pinto is 16th of the season. Carroll out in front, loose puck. Batherson trying to get a piece of it, but the Bruins cleared away. Cousins to the blue line. Matt Powell lets it go. Clevin tees one up. He scores! Goals in back-to-back games for Tyler Clevin. Getting some looks on the far end. Drake Batherson on this power play. A minute gone. Stützle scanning down low. Tkachuk top door. He scores! Drake Batherson on the power play. And Ottawa has 3. That's got to feel good for Drake Batherson. His first goal since February 4th. That's his 10th power play goal on the season. Ottawa regains their 2-goal lead. 3-1 leading the way. 3.5 to go in this first period. Zub trying to keep this puck in the zone. Pinto helped out in front of Ridley Gregg. He scores! Ridley Gregg tucks it home and it's 4-1 Ottawa. On the turnover, Perron. Cousins going back to work. Dylan Cousins on the outside. Pulls it back. Gets through 1. Trying to get through 2. Corpusalo will make the stop. Off the turnover, Ottawa straight into Boston zone. Chabot lets it go from the blue line. Batherson a chance. He scores! 2 on the night for Drake Batherson. Senators lead 5-2. Off the faceoff, Drake Batherson. A chance, a hat trick. An empty net as Dylan Cousins feeds it away, and his shot just wide. These two are quite the duo for Ottawa. Claude Giroux, can he make it? He'll go for it, and he scores! An empty net goal, courtesy of Claude Giroux.
And it's Sanderson in behind the net. Tkachuk, Stützle, Zub, fires that loose puck in front. A swat at it, and Tkachuk on a second try missed the target. Ottawa's come close to tying it on a couple of occasions. Another chance here, Sanderson scores! Jake Sanderson, and Ottawa has equalized.
Oh, what a response that is. Tkachuk's working the front of the net, but how about Stützle? Kind of Nylander-like, just buying himself a little time.
In at the line by Matt Palo. Brandon Carlo, by the way, an assist on the Nylander goal, so that's his first point as a Maple Leaf. And a chance hit, Perron scores! David Perron! And Ottawa is back on even terms.
Away come playoff time, it cost them against Florida on Thursday.
Saw that stat, third best power play in the last 2 months, but third worst penalty kill. Scores! Off the shot off the flank, it gets in past Stolars, and Ottawa's got its first lead of the night. Tavares took a swing at it. It's kicked back again to Ekman Larsson. Shot blocked, and Ridley Gregg all over it. Up ahead, Michael Amadio's going to put this to bed. And the Ottawa Senators are going to come in here and keep the roll going.
3 years, the Canadiens have never missed the playoffs in 4 consecutive years in franchise history.
Wow.
Batherson. Across the line, holds and shoots, scores! Drake Batherson! A lightning strike! And the game is tied at 1. Wow, what a shot.
Drake Batherson, a lot of times by nature, is a pass-first player. Look at him, slow up, looking for options, and then he just releases it.
Back to Hamonic. He shoots and puts it wide. Slavkovsky might say, oh yeah, they are. Here's Giroux. Back to Hamonic, a shot, loose puck, score! Amadio pokes it home. It might have been in already. Drives that back to Struble. And Batherson goes rink wide for Clevin. Clevin drops it back for Perron. Moves it on Roy, drops that back at the point. Hamonic tees it up and shoots, scores! Travis Hamonic, he's got one now. His first goal in 76 games. Back to Sanderson. Or Stutzla. Back to Sanderson. In the corner for Batherson. Stutzla. Back to Cross and a quick shot, score! Dylan Cousins
Plays it to the blue line. It's Artem Zub to the middle. What a nifty pass from Zetterlund, showing off some skill. Here's Tim Stutzla, and he's on the move. Stutzla to Sanderson up front. They score! Brady Tkachuk tips it home, and he has the game's opening goal for the Ottawa Senators. The speed really dominated the second period here in the first 4.5 minutes. Dylan Cousins, his pass slowed down. The Senators gather the puck again. It is Hamonic. Wrist shot, a chance, and they score again. Just like that, it's 2-0 for the Ottawa Senators, thanks to Drake Batherson finishing it off. And now Giroux looks, waits, pass near the net. It bounces back over to Shabbat. Thomas Shabbat from the blue line to Giroux. Down low feed, Gregg. One-timer blast. Giroux scores! And the Senators.
What a great shot initially. Shoot off the rush for Tim Stutzla.
And so Ottawa, doing a really power play. Sanderson to the far side. We'll set it along the blue line, finding Dylan Cousins in his first game back against Buffalo in front. Back door, he scores! Brady Tkachuk on the power play. And Ottawa opens with a lead.
Wow. What an unbelievable pass. Now this all starts.
We'll feed it back to the blue line. Thomas Chabot. Quick play. Perron cuts in front. Into Perron with the lane. He'll hold. Pulls it back. Working it up high with Thomas Chabot. Giroux looks out in front. Pulls it back. Ridley Gregg followed up. David Perron has the answer. A go-ahead goal by Perron. It's 2-1 for the Senators.
No shots for Detroit in the power play. Larkin feeds that back. Zetterlund out of the box. Picks it up. He's away with Stutzla. And jumping into Chabot. Takes that pass in the high slot. Shoots, scores! Fires that by Alex Lyon. And the Ottawa Senators get the first goal of the game. Get the second shot of the game for Ottawa. Now Tkachuk tangled up at center ice. Ball in there with Raymond. And now the other way comes Stutzla. Stutzla shoots, scores! Tim Stutzla with mayhem behind him. Puts it over Lyon's shoulder. Ottawa has survived 5 straight Detroit power plays, 1 shot on the last one.
That's some terrific work, but 5-on-5, they got to go back to work.
Now that clear in went off a Red Wing right to Perron, and scores! It goes off Michael Rasmussen in front of the Detroit bench. Gains the Ottawa line. Little drop pass for Shine. Dominic Shine. Poke check by Highmore. He's away with Amadio. 2-on-0. Michael Amadio works it and shoots. Talbot looks back. Amadio thinks he scored. The referee waving it off right away. But a 2-on-1.
Monahan goes after it on the boards. We'll give it off for Marchenko. Back to the point. Severson slides it in, but Pinto gets to it first, and he'll clear it out. Shabbat through center with it. Crossing into the Jacket zone. Scores! Thomas Shabbat got it to the net. Ottawa is on the board first.
Go all the way back into the other end.
Cousins follows up. Batherson to the point. Sanderson over to Zoom. Got it back for Cousins. Cousins circles around with it. He'll stop, throws it on net. Tarasov the save, rebound, scores! Batherson bangs it in, and Ottawa's got the lead back. Brady Tkachuk clears it up at center. Ridley Gregg stopped it in the net to play because it went off his hand. He got it to Pinto to the net, scores! Sanderson tips it in.
Clevin gathers it back up. Clevin. Good move there, Bernard Docker. Centers it, and a chance score! Claude Giroux gets Ottawa on the board. Down 2 with 6:14 to go in the second. And so Buffalo regains its 3-goal lead. Zubelov shot goes wide. There's Amadio, plays that back. Sanderson. Fire scores! Jake Sanderson gets them right back within 2 with 9.5 to go here in the third. Moved ahead to Bjorkstrand along with Gould. Bjorkstrand comes in, poke check there by Clevin. And now Pinto's got it back. And behind the play, Bjorkstrand knocked down, play continued. In comes Gregg, Ridley Gregg. To Pinto, has that shot score! Pinto! 1-0 Ottawa! For Stutzla. Batherson walks out of the corner. I was sliding that back for Gregg. That was knocked away. Now pulled back out by Gregg. He's poke check. Stutzla drops it back for Sanderson. A shot score! Jack Sanderson, power play goal! Ottawa leads 2-0. There's Amadio with it. Panthers will make the playoffs this year for the 6th consecutive year. That's a franchise record. They missed 10 straight times from 2000 to 2011.
There were some lean times. I played for the Panthers during them.
Now turnover to Pinto. Lets it back in front. A hard shot score! Jake Sanderson on the feed from Pinto. And now Stutzla. Back to Sanderson. Feeds it back in front. Batherson triples right across the crease. And Batherson couldn't tip it home. Plays back across. Cousins scores! Gets the last touch after a close call. Rodriguez picks it back up. Throws it back in front. Marchand couldn't get a shot away. Here's Shabbat. Off the glass and back down a race for Highmore. Gets to it. Matthew Highmore busting in. Scored! Matthew Highmore. His first goal in 34 games.
It's a real tough turnaround for both teams.
Shabbat snaps that pass ahead to Gaudette. In comes Adam Gaudette, holds and shoots, scores! Put it right through Tarasov, and Ottawa's got the opener. Zetterlund slides it back down to Stutzla. Zetterlund looking for his first goal as an Ottawa Senator. Giroux goes out towards the and they score! And the first NHL goal for Nicholas Madipalo. Moved ahead by Pinto. He finds Perron, who's all alone as Ottawa's changing. Held by Shabbat. Moved ahead, that shot, rebound, score! It's Perron. Sanderson serving Pinto all up for 2.5. He'll score! Into the empty net it goes. And Shane Pinto makes it
the high slot. Power play continues for another 25 seconds. Giroux's chance. That didn't miss by much. Off of the boards, comes back to Giroux. He keeps it onside. Claude Giroux towards the middle. Takes a shot. Through a screen. They score!
But I love this play. Get it down to the front. You've got Zetterlund in the high slot. You've got Gaudette into the eyes of Merzlik. And it's a...
Plays over to that far side. Fantilli taken to the wall by Jensen. Those two engage in a good battle, and they're still at it. And they might drop the gloves. Jensen thought about it. Now going the other way. Here's a chance on goal for Slinkin. Save, rebound, score. Shabbat with 4:50 to go. It's back to a 3-goal game.
Puck comes loose. Caulfield tried to knock it free. Kanan Cooley has really Greg all tied up. Amadio got it to Greg. Right in front. Scores! What a start for Ottawa! Shane Pinto buries it 28 seconds in. Zetterlund kicked it free. Armia tries to dislodge it, and it comes to Clement. Tyler Clement over to Montempallo. He'll tee it up. Montempallo, the save rebound, scores! Dylan Cousins gets on the loose puck in front. It's 2-0 Ottawa. Jake Sanderson up to center over the line where they curls away from Matheson, and he'll dump it off for Amadio. Center to front, scores! Ridley Gregg tips it home. Another early goal for Ottawa, and it's 3-0. Minute 26 for Newhook, and Matheson capping in a minute 22. Sens win the draw. Shabbat's got it. Throws it towards the net, scores! Deflected in front, and it goes. Ottawa's got a 4-1 lead. There goes Montembeault. The net empty. Extra attacker out for Montreal. Hudson trying to hold it in. Amadio takes a chop at it. Hudson played it in front. Zoom has got it. He'll bank it out. Matheson racing for it. Pinto on it first. Empty net. Scores!
It's kicked to ahead by Carson Dorwart. Hathaway tried to chip that back in front, knocked down by Shabbat. And back comes Shabbat the other way. Moves that pass for Stutzler, gets a step on Zamula. In comes Stutzler with a chance, scores! Tim Stutzler on the burst, and the game is tied at 1. Now at the line, it's held by Amadio. That shot was just wide. Zetterlund back on it. At the line, that's held by Shabbat. Down he goes to Pinto. Zetterlund shoots, scores! Fabian Zetterlund ties the game at 2. 4 players on the lineup today. Batherson moves it back to Sanderson. A hard shot. Fedotov save the bouncing puck. Landed beside him. He's lost his goal stick now. Shabbat shoots, scores! Thomas Shabbat fires it by Fedotov, and the game is tied at 3. Giroux back down to Patterson. Giroux tees it up. There's the return pass. There's Patterson. Look where he goes. They score! Tim Stutzler, overtime winner. And Ottawa takes it 4-3. He needed one. He got 2.
17 goals on the year for Adam Gaudette. Chases in over the line, and he's pushed back along with the Senators as the puck goes off a skate down the ice. Hala was back, rimmed around, and it's a very good rim. Nick Cousins has a chance. He's in, scores! Two shots the first time around for the Senators. Batherson will come in to take this phase up, win it back to Stutzler. He plays to Shabbat, looks to shoot, scores! Shabbat!
Sends off to the power play.
Yeah,
Looks
extra
for the
2.
equalizer.
Towards the goal, scores! For a handful of games in Ottawa in the 2000s.
Up to the neutral zone. Good pursuit from Gaudette and Cousins. Another team scores! Gaudette off the run. Towards the goal. Batherson looks towards the middle. Back to Dylan. Cousins scores! Under 3 minutes to go. There's a broken stick in the Ottawa zone from that last play. Gilbert is back, has to deal with Logan Stankoven, pins him up against the boards. Taken by Ottawa to the line. Another big check. Ridley Gregg saw him coming, and Stillman got the worst of it. Now Pinto in, scores! What a sequence! Pinto on a break, and it's 3-0 Senators.
Just gets his shoulder on it.
There's a shot, scores! Off of the draw. On that power move, might get a second chance. In front, Batherson scores! Tie game! For Tim Stützle. It does get it back to Sanderson and Batherson, and Sanderson again. Plays over Stützle, down to Cousins. Dylan Cousins up to Sanderson, still on the perimeter. 1:10 to go on the power play. Centering pass in front, scores! Batherson!
They have a 6-on-4.
Over the line, Stützle in, what a move, what a goal!
His strength. Sanderson's going to pop that puck back. Now it's Stützle, who fakes like he's going to go outside, inside. And he just takes a little extra ice. Gostisbehere turns on the play, so Stützle takes.
Here in the offensive zone.
Here goes Batherson to work. Straight Batherson fired right on. Carlo there for the rebound, taken to the corner by Perron. Up with the puck, Cousins. Stopped by Stolarz. Rebound, scores! And Ottawa has got their first on a goal by Greg Batherson.
You need on the road something to build off of. There's a rebound that goes to Carlo. But
Jensen slowly works his way out. And Amadio loose, went to Pinto. Now Amadio trying to crack it down in the corner. Ridden away by Bedloff and picked up by Pinto. Far side, penalty pending against the Maple Leafs. Artem Zub up high, Pinto right on. Rebound, another stop by Stolarz. Rebound, scores! Ridley Gregg on the delayed penalty call. And Ottawa is back with it too. So minute 9 remaining in the third Ottawa power play. And on the draw, Giroux able to beat another former Flyer, Scott Lawton, side of the net.
instead of getting the puck to the net, Lawton unable to win it. Ottawa gets control, and instead of trying to take it himself, he puts it between and right off the left skate of Brandon Carlo. You know, you get into these tight areas, you never know exactly what's going to happen. We've seen 2 own goals now. One on the Tavares goal off of Jensen, and there's...
Matt Paolo dumps it back in. Gaudette tags up.
A quick double shift for Stützle there, too. And he had just gone off, and he's right back on looking at this matchup.
And Palso, there's a score! On the deflection, Tim Stützle on, and Ottawa has tied it.
Position there on Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Stützle gets it back to the point, the quick release, and the tip up and over the shoulder of Anthony Stolarz. Again, being on the road as a coach, you don't have the luxury of the last change. You have to easily detect where the passes are going to go, and then they collapse so close. There wasn't much distance to get that quick shot away.
Lawton got off. Marner checks in. Sanderson hands it off to Giroux. The veteran along. Look, scores! From Giroux! Ottawa's got their first lead.
Shooting lanes were taken away on this diamond. You put it to the flank, you've got somebody to block.
And it's a bit of deja vu for Ottawa without a shot here in the third period. Remember, they didn't have a shot until the Gaudette tying goal at 14:47 of the third period. Maybe here, and it's in! On the first shot, Brady Tkachuk.
They haven't been able to get it into the zone. A defensive zone face-off ends up in the back of the net the other way. What an excellent play along the board.
From the corner, it goes back to Sanderson, watched by Yarncroke. Here's Tkachuk. No shot yet. Here's one. Stützle scores! His first Stanley Cup playoff goal!
A little bit of difficulty getting into the zone, but then calm and patience here. Don't throw it in and give the puck back away. This is a little late movement there by Stolar. Look at his reaction, but Teddy Stützle just ready for the one-timer, pounds it and gets it just high enough to get up and over the glove.
Watched by Giroux. He'll scrub along the boards. Nylander one-hands it back. It gets past Marner. It's Pinto. 0-3. Pinto. And it rolls in.
And this may be a bigger save. He took a look to his left and then times it perfectly back to his right. Gets the blocker on it. Now a puck battle. And Matthew Knives, right when Pinto gets to shoot, gets in on the stick, but it slides between the legs. And Stolar's got a piece of it, but just not enough. You know, Pinto had a breakaway.
Nylander in. Shooting. Rebound. And Holberg got buried in front as he backhanded it wide. Brady Tkachuk, and now the other way, Perron's in and a backhand, stopped by Stolars, the late man, soon, in front scores, it's David Perron!
For Holmberg and then back the other way, gets inside position, a backhand rebound that stays alive.
Up the board, straight Batherson, and here goes Tyler Klevenin on his backhand, flipped that high, and Stolar's got a piece of that. Played to the line, but not out. Sanderson help, scores! Jake Sanderson through! And the Senators still have life! Still alive and headed to Game 5!
In front, Clement on the other side, so you got your D-man on the one side going all the way down and keeps it from going out. Great effort to get there. The traffic in front. Zetterlund gets Carlo and Jake Sanderson. Chris, again, this is the fourth time this season that he's played 30 minutes or more. Couldn't be a bigger shift than that. Stolar's a little late going. Sanderson with his head up just throws that puck through the crowd, and it goes over the glove and in the back of the net. What a year it's been for Sanderson. 11 goals in the regular season, and man, none bigger than that.
Michael Adler, Steve Sales, Dave Pullen, Ottawa management, and a sellout crowd here getting to celebrate a playoff victory.
It's just those kind of chances just have not been going his way.
Chabot scores! Thomas Chabot gets it through, and Ottawa has struck first in Game 5.
Well, you know, the team trying to stave off elimination, that important first goal.
Zoop with another block. That's 6 in the game. Nyes, Matthews, pass picked off, intended for Marner. Here is Gaudette, driving the lane is Cousins, scores! Short-handed. Ottawa's got its second short-handed goal in the series.
Able to get control of it, and then an errant pass by Matthews. Just a soft saucer. Gaudette does a great job of just holding on. Nylander can't catch Cousins.
Here's Nylander winning a battle. The centering pass broke it up. Net is empty. Puck down the ice. No icing because Giroux got there first. Here's Giroux in front. Stützle scores! Empty net goal. Tim Stützle. 3-0 Ottawa.
One knee, it just blocks the other side, and then nice job getting to that loose puck. Tavares here, the Leafs, you just don't want him to be coming out with all positive thoughts, at least plant one negative.
Marner back at the line. Riley sent that through. Rather goes to Marner in the final minute. Matthews tries to center. Sanderson breaks it up. Marner chops it across to keep it in. Stützle out at center. There's Tkachuk. A couple of assists and now a goal for Brady Tkachuk, the captain. Fires in the fourth goal.
And all the little battles, they've been able to block shots, which it had been what the Leafs were doing early on. This has been a defensive gem. All your key players are feeling good about themselves now. Your captain, who guarantees.
We're in mid-change. Nylander and Tavares are out there. Along with Lorentz. Shabbat. He'll take the shot. Scores! Tipped in front. Brady Tkachuk.
They get in and create the turnover. Good pressure in the corner. Watch McCabe and Tkachuk. He gets one low, goes down, takes away the stick of McCabe. So McCabe is late getting back to the front of the net. Tkachuk, to his credit, popped right back up. Thomas Shabbat with his head up. And how about this tip up and over?
In behind, Nyes picks it up. Can't clear, a chance here. Shabbat keeps it alive. Greg recovers his stick. Perron on it. Leafs back at full six. Scores! In behind the net. Backed in by Perron. The game is tied.
Good moves. The turnover there. And David Perron brought here to be one of those guys who, in the big games, can find a way to do something positive. Well, he's done the unthinkable here. Tough angle from behind the line off the head and back into the back end. Their second series for this group.
What a valiant effort by the Ottawa Senators. From the get-go, and maybe one more chance. Stolarz, a couple of more stops. And it will do it. The Leafs are bound for the second round. And another showdown with the Florida Panthers.
And man, how about Anthony Stolarz? 6 games in a row. Fans back home in Toronto excited about the prospects of going on to play the Florida Panthers. You know, Craig Berube went with his gut, didn't he? He didn't make the changes that maybe some people thought he would. Kept with Stolarz, and Stolarz has a great performance here in Game 6 to bring it home.
16 saves. Really doesn't tell the story about how sharp he had to be. And the fans saluting this Ottawa Senator team that has arrived.
Yeah, you talk about a team with some growth. So many first-time players getting their first taste. Now 6 games worth of experience. Fought valiantly, but unable to get this one to a Game 7.
Captain who wears his heart on his sleeve. Here's the chance of Brady as the handshakes. The 5th Battle of Ontario. Once again, this one goes to Toronto.
Yeah, you got to hope that you don't have 21 years of waiting again. You know, it really was a good series of a team in Toronto that's just trying to get over a hurdle that's been in their way the whole time, in a series for Ottawa that just the growth of this team and the development so evident.
Well, Max Pacioretty, a hero here today. There was some talk whether there would be lineup changes for Toronto, whether Pacioretty would stay in, whether they'd switch goaltenders. Stolarz great tonight. Pacioretty, it's a game-winning goal. And the captains meet at center ice.
You hope you see that for another string of years. It's always great to have these kind of rivalries develop in playoff time, and you got to feel after 8 years for the Ottawa Senators that maybe they are going to be back for a long stretch like the Maple Leafs have been able to do.
2 years ago, the Leafs win in 6 against Tampa. There were chants that we want Florida. I don't think Leaf fans are chanting that, but they're certainly happy to get another chance against the Panthers, now the defending Stanley Cup champions in round 2.
How about the old teammates having a little moment there? Cousins and Stolars, who both experienced the ultimate excitement and handshake line last year.
Travis Green in his great season with the Senators, 97 points, a 19-point improvement over last year. And he'll be on a lot of Coach of the Year ballots. Good stuff, huh? Respect after a hard-fought series. Daniel Alfredson, who's been involved in all 5 battles of Ontario. And you know how much Craig Berube respects Brady Tkachuk's game.
Two guys that could talk hockey all day right there in Travis Green and Craig Berube.